Careblazer, if you find yourself in the position of trying to find a care facility for your loved one, it can be a pretty daunting and overwhelming task. How do you narrow down the options? What questions do you ask? What are you looking for? And so sometimes having somebody to help walk you through the process can be helpful. That's where something like a placement agent can come in handy. I am currently working with a placement agent, and after this video, if you are interested, and depending on how that experience goes, I could ask her to come on for a more detailed, in-depth interview on working with a placement agent. But what I want to do in this video is to share a little bit about what they are and how they get paid. So a placement agent is somebody who works on your behalf to find a facility that is within the budget that you have and the needs that your loved one has, and what you both would like in a facility, what you and your loved one would like to see in a facility. They can help with placement to a traditional memory care facility, some other type of long-term care facility, skilled rehab, hiring private caregivers into the home, or even group home settings. Typically, it's just whenever you're thinking about a different level of care for your loved one and you're trying to weigh options and figure things out, these people can be incredibly helpful. Also, like in my experience, after getting a hold of a placement agent that I felt comfortable with, they're also guiding you through in emotional ways as well and helping you prepare as much as possible. For instance, they immediately sent me 2 booklets on your first 30 days and how to prepare with your loved one being in whatever facility you choose, as well as some general tips and guidelines to help make that adjustment go more smoothly, and other random tips. Like for instance, one of the tips I read was to sew in the person's name inside of their clothing, as oftentimes if you just write on the marker in the clothing, those markings rub off and then it's hard to know whose stuff is who. And whenever you're living in a group community environment, it's easy for things to get mixed up. So like that was one of the tips in there. So it was nice. They work with you as if kind of like a real estate agent would work with you, and how a real estate agent would take you around to different options and talk to you about the place and know information from the other agent on the place in the background of the home. The same thing here. They will take you to homes. They will tour facilities that are within your criteria. They have relationships for the most part, if it's an established placement agent, with many of the facilities, with many of the group homes, with many of the owners. And so they can give you that information and background. For those who have been in it for a while, they have information that isn't so widely known. Like for instance, my dad right now is in a skilled nursing facility, and I've been having lots of trouble with them. This was before I contacted her. And when I told her about it, she gave me some background about another one of their facilities that isn't doing so well and some citations and things like that. So they are a wealth of knowledge that you could totally do this on your own. That's totally within your prerogative too. But to have somebody who has the expertise, has the information, is able to compile all the different resources and maybe save you a bunch of time in the process is wonderful. Now, how do they get paid? That was like one of my first questions to her. So basically, they would get paid from the facility. So in my case, I am currently exploring some group home options. And if you don't know what a group home is, I did a video last week. And so you can click on this video to watch a short video explaining more about pros and cons of a group home. But she explained she would get paid from the owners of that group home some sort of kickback for her introducing me to that facility. Now, the thing to know about this is that you want to be sure the placement agent isn't just going to tour you to facilities where they get the biggest kickback. Ethically, I don't think an ethical placement agent would do such a thing, but you want to make sure, like you could do your own research. If you're like, I've heard about this facility, it seems really great, I want to go tour that facility, that's in your prerogative too. It's the same thing with a real estate agent. They want to show you the more expensive homes so they get a higher percentage or kickback back, but they are still obligated to show you the homes you want to be in. In fact, the home I live in now was for sale by owner. My real estate agent did not show me this home initially, but she was a wonderful real estate agent. And when I showed her this home and sent it to her, she was like, okay, we'll take you there and we'll figure out a way. And we figured out a way, and here I am. So shout out to Karen Carrillo, best real estate agent, who unfortunately, but bittersweet, ultimately actually came into my care course and became a care course member. So sending love to you, Karen. Careblazer, real quick, if this channel has helped you in any way on your caregiving journey, would you let another caregiver know about it? It's the only way this channel grows, which ultimately means that other caregivers out there in the world currently searching for information and help on their caregiving journey will have a better chance of finding this channel. It really means the world. Thank you. But a placement agent is something to consider. So have you ever heard of this type of person? Sometimes it's like an agency with multiple agents working underneath that facility, and sometimes it's just one person. And it's been nice because I've been able to text her, email her, really quick responses. Next week, we're scheduled to go look at some facilities, and they help coordinate things too. Like I can tell her who I'm talking to in the skilled nursing facility so she can contact them and get some things set up, try to figure out when it looks like my dad would be discharged and when would be an appropriate time to like coordinate the move and the transfer. So there's so many moving parts. And in my first week of working with a placement agent, so far, I do feel like it's been helpful and has alleviated a lot of tasks, errands, research, and things I would be doing on my own. Obviously, I'm going to do my own research. When they're narrowed down and she's presenting me with options, I'm going to go research them all on my own. I'm going to look up their citations online. I'm going to look up reviews. I'm going to do all of those things. And ultimately, if I don't like any of those options, I might not go with any of those options. Quite frankly, I'm still hoping my dad will gain a lot of strength and be able to go back home or be able to come in with me right now. But everything's up in the air. And so we're just exploring all of our options. But if you've never heard of a placement agent, I hope that this has been helpful. If you would like more information and more details about a placement agent, let me know in the comments and maybe I would extend an invitation to this particular person I'm working with. That's what I have for you. Sending you so much love. Hang in there. Bye.
Also, Nico gets a belly rub for every person who subscribes from this video. So if you haven't already, click the red subscribe button. It's totally free. And Nico says, thank you very much.